Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer bringing you some StarMade station reviews. Today we are taking a look at the Zeta trade station by Philzor. Let's take a look at this. So I have taken a look at this for a few seconds before I started recording, and I have to say that it does appear that this station is unfinished. Either that, or the execution of some of the ideas is a little funky. I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I am going to say that I'm not sure if I can agree with them. And I will go over why. For example, this entire lower section, while it does have interesting features, such as this right here, it's completely gone to waste by including things like massive amounts of power modules, which I've spoken about this before in a previous video. When you include things like this, just, a texture that repeats on and on and on, it's not interesting to look at. From a distance, it starts to, blend in with itself. It actually turns into a color. As I move around, you can actually no longer see the texture animating. You can see it turns into like some bluey, flat panel. And from here, it does look like it's moving when you stop. And close up, you get to see a billion of these textures going on at once. And there's nothing to look at. It's all the same thing going on across this panel, right? And, if you broke it up, the builder that is, if the builder breaks this up with, things like this, white lights, blocks that give it some depth, if they did things like that with this massive panel of power, then perhaps, it would be more interesting to look at. I'd have more of a reason to admire this part of the build, but unfortunately the builder has opted to not do that. So we get some more of this above here with the actual attempts at detailing it and making it look interesting, and I have to say it's a little bit more effective up here. It kind of gives it a ridge and almost makes it feel like these satellite dishes are connected to the station via those power tanks, right? And that's a neat little way of connecting up your station with detail. I would like to see this wedged. In fact, there's quite a number of places where I think wedging needs to happen. There's certainly a way for you to wedge this type of angle with the corner blocks. There's this sort of pattern that's going on here, and I'm not sure again if I can agree with this because it goes from wedge to not wedge, and I'm not entirely sure that's working out. There's almost no reason for that. It would have been better if there was a color, I think, thrown up here instead of a pattern with the wedge blocks. I will say that the use of lighting to go from yellow to blue is interesting. I'm not sure I can agree with the specific colors used, yellow and blue, these two specific yellows and blues. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It's interesting, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. I do like the fact that, the lighting was used. And if, the builder did not actually intend for the lights to be on, then if we turn them off, we get a much different effect, right? Suddenly we don't have to worry about yellow lights anymore. I don't know if the other light rods were included in the game by the time that this came out. It does look like we have some more yellow ones here, but these are washed out by the sun. If we turn those off, it instantly turns this entire panel blue. I would like to say that I really think this idea right here is kind of neat, although I'm not sure, again, if it was executed well, but it appears that this is some sort of telescope, right? And it's massive. There's two of them. But again, I'm not sure how well it was executed. It is kind of just resting on two blocks, and I imagine this would be quite heavy. And on top of that, you have to go outside of the space station to use it, and I'm not sure how much I think that makes sense in terms of an engineering perspective. There is a hangar here, so let's open this up and see what's inside. I haven't been inside yet. We do have some little desks over here, or maybe there's some sort of storage areas designated by this little bit right here. Again, there's a specific block for this type of shape that you can use. The penta needs to be thought of a bit more. I do like the fact that there's some grills on the floor, however, or metal meshes, I should say. Adding a little bit of depth. It would be neat if there was something down here, but it looks like it just goes directly into a power module, which doesn't give off any light. They have broken up this floor a little bit. We've got quite an interesting pattern going on with the walls. I'm not sure what that's all about. So let's go through this door. We'll open everything up. So this goes back outside. This goes outside. There is a door here, so let's open this up. Okay, so there's not much going on. It's kind of like a little terminal to access, you know, the satellite dish, and that's kind of neat. Again, more doors leading all to the outside. There's nothing new in each of these rooms, specifically. If we come up one level, it appears that this is some sort of landing. There's doors to access the outside from in here as well. I'm not sure if these were supposed to be placed this way, because they're sticking out of the window, but that's okay. Some medical cabinets. Some sort of conference table. Terminals. Let's turn off the overview. Ooh, this is actual, like, a computer setup with some chairs. Okay. If we continue to go up, I do like the elevator. The elevator is really nicely done. You know, you've got alternating colors with these different lights here. And, you know, it's got an interesting shape. It's really open. I like that. That's pretty neat. So if we go up through this glass floor, we arrive on this upper section, which I have not seen yet as well. And it does look like, you know, this station is unfinished once I get up here. You know, there's blocks that are not connected. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be connected or not. This appears to be... Oh my god, is this supposed to be like bamboo? Because it kind of looks like bamboo with the water behind it. Now that would be neat, although it could be some sort of shower or a bath, because this looks like a very basic toilet design. Yeah, I think it is. Occupied, not occupied and occupied, although I think I'd be using green instead for the bathroom occupied light, or unoccupied light. Excuse me. So we have, you know, randomly placed blocks. Again, this doesn't look finished. There is a design in the floor, although it's not even. That's gonna bother some people. Ooh, I like these chairs though. There's like really comfy sofa chairs right here. Nice. Okay, I'm digging that. Again, some very interesting design decisions, you know, with this. I'm not entirely sure what the process was for going about building this. It feels a little unstructured. We've got what appears to be some rooms. Oh my god, this is actually a very large room with a fireplace. That's interesting. I don't think I've seen anyone put a fireplace in their rooms before. Got a very large bed. A nice little sofa in here. Again, this room is a little plain, and even though there's a few objects in here, I think the walls could do with a little bit of decoration other than just this blue stripe. Again, blocks are missing that definitely need to be taken care of. We're going to check out another room. It looks like an exact copy. This room's a little bit different. Okay, okay. I do like this window next to the bed. That's neat. Alright, so real quick, let's see if there's anything else. There appears to be a ramp going up. I'm assuming there's more rooms up here. Again, needs to be taken care of. This, you know, this structure needs to be thought out and, you know, finished, I believe. Okay, more rooms. It kind of just ends here abruptly, and I'm not entirely sure if there's even a purpose for this here. I mean, if they put chairs over here or something, then that'd be great, but otherwise, unless you're actually meant to climb up this little bit right there, I don't think that it's necessary to extend that hallway out. They could have put either another room here or some sort of balcony where people can chill and hang out. Again, random lights, blocks placed everywhere. Oh, okay, this is split up by 3. Okay, so that's why it's uneven with the pattern in the floor. This is actually going in, well, it shouldn't be going in a 45-degree angle, but honestly, that's the best we can do in a game like this. Wow, this is an interesting design right here. Modern art taken to a whole new level. Now this, I'm not too sure. I mean, like, this is really neat, but again, I'm not sure how well it was executed. I mean, I totally get it. It's supposed to like look like this thing where it's some sort of aesthetic archway over the hallway connecting to the ring. but I'm not sure. I mean, I like this design more than I like that design, actually. This is really cool. Nice use of the pentasm wedges there. It's interesting, at least. But overall, I would say that while I totally like the idea, you know, and the structure of the station on a basic level works, the actual detail work... Oh my good lord, I don't think I saw this part. How did I miss this? There's an entire park with a little river and a pond. Wow, okay. How did I miss this? How the hell did I miss this? I guess I only looked at these areas over here. But if you go through and follow it, it'll bring you to a park. There's some more chairs. Now this is nice. There's a boxing ring and a big table. Oh wow, and treadmills. So this is like some sort of, you know, recreational area. There's a oddly shaped fan on the ceiling. There's some more artwork, I suppose, in the shape of, or used as lights. Holy crap, they've got massive bench presses over here. Wow, okay. So it does look like, there is a little bit more to this than I thought there was. And see this? Oh wow, yes. This is the type of detailing I would have liked to have seen on some of these rooms. You know, you've got lights, and then right next to it you got a little bit of a wedge, which gives it, you know, some sort of support to the ceiling. That's really neat. There's, you know, the builder seems to know what they want, but it doesn't seem like they're executing it that well. And I think this definitely needs some attention. I'm going to give the interior and exterior a 6 out of 10. I really, you know, again, it's kind of traditional, and at the same time, it's got some really exotic shapes going on with that, you know, the whole aesthetic in general. And I'd really like to see that fleshed out, but there is a lot of work that still needs to be done. As a trade guild station, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It looks neat, but again, is there a trade? Yeah, I'm not even seeing a shop module, and I suspect, you know, considering that was in the rules, I'm gonna have to say, you know, it should definitely be included. It does seem like a station where you can park a large enough ship and trade. But on the aesthetics, I'd say, a 7 out of 10 for effectiveness. Other than that, subscribe if you want to see more of these station reviews. That was Zeta Trade Station by Philzor. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all for the next one. Power modules, which I've spoken about this before in a previous video. When you include things like this, just, you know, a texture that repeats on and on and on, you know, it's not interesting to look at. From a distance, it starts to, like, you know, blend in with itself. It actually turns into a color. As I move around, you can actually no longer see the texture animating. You can see it turns into like some bluey, you know, flat panel. And from here it does look like it's moving when you stop, and close up you get to see a billion of... I have taken a look at this for a few seconds before I started recording, and I have to say that it does appear that this station is unfinished. Either that, or the execution of some of the ideas is a little funky. I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I am going to say that I'm not sure. Hello once again YouTube, Chris the Nightbringer bringing you some StarMade Station reviews. Today we are taking a look at the Zeta Trade Station by Philzor. Let's take a look at this. So, if I can agree with them, and I will go over why. For example, this entire lower section, while it does have interesting features, such as this right here, it's completely gone to waste by including things like massive amounts of